FunPop. 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 Hello, everybody. Hey, what's up? I'm Mav here, and this is FunPop, episode 24. This is going to be Star Wars edition. Yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun talk about Star Wars, and we're going to talk about, hey, what's going on in the future. My wife, Kate's going to hop on with us after a while and give us her thoughts on watching her first couple Star Wars movies ever, and maybe get some predictions from her on where she thinks it's going to go with the story, so we can kind of see how spot on she is, you know. It's going to be fun. But we have a very special guest today here. He saw that we're talking about Star Wars, and he's interested, and also been wanting to get him back on the show, so there was mutual interest there. So we have the one and only, you know him as Cerebral Paul. What's up, dude? How's it going, man? Yeah, heck yeah, dude. Thanks for hopping on. And then we have the newest panel member, and you see now he's officially on all of the artwork and stuff. He's on all the graphics. He's in the intro. He's even on the outro. Jasper, what's up, dude? Thanks for being here, man. They can't hear me? They should be able to hear Paul. If I can hear Paul. Oh, wait, hold on. Shit. No, they can't hear any of you. Hell.
Can't hear.
Okay. Oh my gosh. You know what? It's that dang button. Paul. Hey, let's just start that over. Paul, thanks for being here, dude.
No, I'm glad to be here. That's 2 shows tonight. At the beginning, it's only been blown out of the water. Okay, yeah. We're doing good.
It's just this dumb button that I have to turn off sometimes to prevent an echo, and then when I do this, I have to click it on, and I forgot to click it on. Sorry about that, chat. And Jasper, I already just introed you. Hey, what's up, dude?
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for coming out for FunPop tonight, chat.
Yes. Thank you for being here, chat. You guys are all awesome. Crazy Louie, Micah Ford, Back from Dead, Phasma, all of you, thank you for being here. You guys rock. And anybody that's watching this after the fact, you rock. Anybody that's listening to this on audio platforms, you rock. Appreciate all of you 100%. So, like I said, this is going to be a Star Wars heavy episode. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. And going into what is in the cards for the future. I got a list of a lot of stuff, right? But what made me start thinking about this was recent comments actually from, I think it's Marcia or Marcia Lucas. I don't know. Maybe one of you knows how to pronounce the name, but I think it's Marcia Lucas. And that is the ex-wife of George Lucas. And also she used to work on Star Wars. And she had some very interesting comments. And hey, look who it is. Hey, babe. Are you there?
I cannot hear you.
You can't hear me?
What?
Now or on the YouTube stream? This is going beautifully. What a start to the show.
Oh fuck, that's not the right thing.
Hey. Well, I'm just gonna sit here and wait and see if you.
My sounds are muted.
I can hear you on YouTube.
Yeah,
my sounds are muted. I figured it out.
Is that better? You can hear us now?
Yeah, my sounds were muted.
Okay, so we're good. All right. Do you have to go get the cake or anything? Did you get
No, I got the cake out. It's done. I just put the ribs in, so I am good.
Hey, that's awesome. Okay. So you know what?
Oh man, and I don't live in Texas anymore. Shit.
Yeah. Everybody, this is first in my heart, lovely wife Kate. She is going to give us her thoughts on seeing her first 2 Star Wars movies, so we can actually start with that before we get
Oh,
into all this other
geez,
stuff.
putting me on the spot.
Oh, absolutely, would love to put you on the spot because I've been looking forward to.
Should we
this
wait for
all week.
Psycho though?
You want to wait? We can wait for Psycho. Psycho's on his way, so we'll get back into this.
Yeah,
other
wait
stuff.
for Psycho.
Okay.
I'm gonna jot some of my notes down.
Okay. You got notes? You gonna actually do notes?
Actually, I don't know. I'm just gonna wing it.
Okay. If you want to take notes, if you want to do notes and stuff, that's fine.
You're just gonna have to help me remember the things that I've said about
So I'm gonna
Star Wars.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you the things that you said so you can say it
No,
again.
you're gonna help me remember.
Okay.
It's gonna be hard for me to articulate it.
Okay. I will. I'll help you. All right. Going back into these comments, this was Marcia Lucas was actually giving some just critical feedback, like it's just kind of came out of the blue, and it was very interesting because she wasn't really holding back her thoughts. It was, and that's very uncommon in like for that industry publicly, for people just to like be that critical of other creators.
Well, I have a question.
Yes.
When is George Lucas still making the films?
No,
No.
God, no.
Oh, okay. So she wasn't like dogging on him.
No,
No,
Oh,
I
okay.
think does he still have like final say so? Like, does he have to check off?
I don't
stuff?
think
Uh-uh.
he has. They
No.
gave him $4 billion. He's out.
Okay. Because I
The-
thought
the
like
room-
I thought
ru-
recently
some-
there was some change with that or something.
Some rumor has it that they do reach out to him for some input, but they don't take it for anything unless they decide to, type of thing.
Okay.
But again, that's just rumor that's been floating around out there.
I think probably Dave Filoni probably has some like communication back and forth, but that's probably about it.
Hey, host, get the fuck off your phone.
I'm sorry, the work stuff. Like all of a sudden, like my phone is like blowing up with work stuff, and it's absolutely insane. This is like the worst like start and the most hectic start to a show I think I've ever had. Sorry, chat. I apologize, but hey, I want to get to these comments. Okay, so she wasn't being critical of him, but she said,
Okay.
I like Kaitlin. I always liked her. She was full of beans. She was really smart and really bright. Really wonderful woman. And I liked her husband, Frank. I liked them a lot. Now that she's running Lucasfilm and making movies, it seems to me that Kathy Kennedy and J.J. Abrams don't have a clue about Star Wars. They don't get it. And J.J. Abrams is writing these stories. When I saw that movie where they kill Han Solo, I was furious. I was furious when they killed Han Solo. Absolutely, positively. There was no rhyme or reason to it. I thought, you don't get the Jedi story. You don't get the magic of Star Wars. You're getting rid of Han Solo? Lucas says in the book. She served as an editor on Star Wars for which she went. Okay, so she was an editor on Star Wars, right? Then she goes on to say, they have Luke disintegrate. They killed Han Solo. They killed Luke Skywalker. And they don't have Princess Leia anymore. And they're spitting out movies every year, and they think it's important to appeal to a women's audience. So now their main character is this female who's supposed to have Jedi powers, but we don't know how she got Jedi powers or who she is. It sucks. The storylines are terrible, just terrible, awful. You can quote me. J.J. Abrams, Kathy Kennedy, talk to me. This is like
Ooh, I like her. I like her.
So, you know, some of the stuff that
She is my.
she said, I didn't necessarily like have a problem. Like I didn't have a problem with like Rey being a female character, right? Like, but and there's another thing that she said is they don't say how she got her powers. Well, they address that at the end of the last movie, right? So I don't know if maybe she just hated the movie so much she didn't watch all of them all the way through, right? So that could be a possibility also. But it's interesting to see somebody that is that close to Star Wars have those heavy critical comments. Like it's not just a lot of the fans of Star Wars, it's actually the people that have worked on it as well. Even somebody that knows George Lucas very, very well, obviously, right? So hey, Psycho, what's up, dude?
What's up? What's up?
Welcome to
I
the
couldn't-
show, bro.
Yeah, I couldn't miss this freaking show. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Yeah, this is like been one of the craziest starts to a show that we've had so far. It's been hectic all over the place, but
Oh,
we're here, and thank you for joining us. Super appreciate it. So we were just diving into is it Marcia or Marcia Lucas? I think it's Marcia. Uh, Lucas's thoughts about Star Wars. So, do you have any thoughts on that? I know we were talking a little bit about on the DMs.
I don't know what you're talking about. Sorry.
So okay, so do you remember when Pong sent us the DM that had Marcia Lucas's comments on the direction of Star Wars with the movies, J.J. Abrams and Kathy Kennedy?
I did see what he posted, but I didn't read it. I've been out looking for cars, so I've been
Okay.
busy. So I've been busy. I
Right.
didn't look at it.
Well,
like, oh, cool.
I just read it. And this chaotic start to this podcast continues. Hey, let's go. All right. Jasper, what about you, man?
I just appreciate like an actual inside source that's worked with like the Star Wars IP like very well, like coming out and saying like what all the fans have been saying since the new movies have been out. Like they don't know what's going on with the Star Wars universe. They just kind of took whatever and was like, yeah, we're just making it now. They looked at no history. They just kind of came out with it and was like, this is Star Wars now. So I appreciate an insider like actually coming out and speaking up. But
yeah, absolutely.
That was going to be my next question: is if y'all agree with her statements.
I do.
100%.
Yeah.
So,
And also, there was some spoilers in there for me, unfortunately.
well,
I didn't know that. I didn't know
okay.
Han Solo dies.
That's like 300 hours into the movie set. You'll forget.
You're gonna
about
forget
that
about
you
it.
get that far.
Yeah, and you don't know how all the stuff. Like it's you're gonna forget. It's gonna be so interesting to you, and you don't know when either, right? So, Paul, like,
Yo.
What's your take? Like, specifically, like, how good is her take?
Her take is dead on because Kathy Kennedy openly said she had no knowledge of Star Wars before taking control. And she basically told the fans they could go, jump in a lake.
Yep.
It's no secret that she basically took the whole expanded universe. I've read all those books by that, as I mentioned in our DM, and she took it all and tossed it.
Yep.
Basically said none of that is canon anymore. What's canon is whatever we do now.
Yep.
So, and what they did was crap on some levels. Seriously, and it was very disingenuous to us longtime Star Wars fans and to the whole thing altogether. Actually, to say that all of those good stories, they don't matter. What's funny is now it seems like to continue on, they're going to pull from some of those and plug it in where they can, which I think they should actually.
Oh yeah.
I agree with her that the whole introduction of Rey and all that out of nowhere was like, what? It's like, and the whole thing with Han and that whole thing, that was just weird, But again, a lot of that comes because I was coming from the expanded universe and going, what are they doing? This is like totally just, I expected different. I didn't expect them to basically take what would be my childhood, because I was 10 years old when the first one came out, and throw it out the door. Yeah. And now we're going to make it about equality and about this and that, and it's like, you've kind of taken that whole, because it started as a space western, space opera, and all that's kind of gone now. Now it's a WB special episode.
Yeah, it's definitely
so
different,
yeah. I agree with almost everything she said. I agree with everything she said. She basically she spit on George's vision.
Yes.
and so did what's his name? The one she also harps on. Because he wasn't a Star Wars fan either, and he admits it. Why would you give control of a film franchise to people who have no idea what the film franchise is about?
Because
Yeah.
there's $4
That
billion
really
there.
made no sense to me. Yeah. What the hell?
It's a very it's a very big popular franchise. Obviously, the most popular franchise in all of movies, right? I would definitely say so. MCU might be like getting up there right now just because it's been so successful, right? But Star Wars is like the most famous, and if they start producing the high quality and stuff, stuff that people get as excited about again, right? Then I think there's nothing that can hold a candle to Star Wars, right? So what I want to know is like, I have the list of all of the stuff that's in the works, right? Now, the most recent stuff we've gotten from Star Wars is Mandalorian, which I absolutely love, right? Mandalorian is absolutely
best thing Disney made.
Fantastic, right? Then we have the Bad Batch, which actually I'm enjoying.
Very good.
Yeah, I'm enjoying
like it a lot.
I still haven't finished it yet, just because I don't watch as much animation stuff. But like, I surprisingly was enjoying Bad Batch, right? Story wise, it's fantastic, right? So,
Now I have a question for you, Matt. Did you watch the Clone Wars?
No.
The animation stuff.
No, I didn't.
It's actually very good. It's actually very good.
See, that's what people keep telling me. But like back when it was like more current, right? I tried to watch a few of the episodes earlier on, and it felt a little like kiddie and silly a lot for me.
Oh, it grows up real quick. It grows up real quick. Yeah.
So that's what always deterred me away from it, But then the more I like Bad Batch, I saw the art style and I was like, I'm not gonna like this, like the big heads and the exaggerated features and stuff, and then some of the silliness to it. But then like it got pretty serious, right? And straightforward, and I really like that with the animation stuff. Like I don't like it, like in the MCU stuff when they do the What If series, when they try and make jokes and be silly and stupid, cartoony, right? But I like the serious stories aspect of it, right? Like same with the Bad Batch, right? I like when it's serious. So I keep thinking I should go back and watch it, but it's like I'm so far behind with Clone
There's
Wars.
definitely a lot of filler episodes.
By the way, can I throw in something? Can I throw in something to tail end my Marcia comments?
Yeah.
She forgot to. Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, she didn't mention the crap that her ex-husband did. Because I'm sorry, he brought in episode 1 and the midichlorians and all this crap to try to explain all this stuff that would have been better left unexplained, actually.
Yeah.
Exactly. He tried too hard to build this story, and he actually broke it in many ways. It's like, what?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's kind of when people went, George, go stay in your lane, which means stay away from your shit. Stop breaking stuff. Yeah.
Well,
she didn't mention that at all. She just harped on the new stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he did a good job with Revenge of the Sith. Revenge of the Sith out of
that's the first one I like. Yeah, that's the first one I really enjoy.
All the prequels was like, okay, I feel like this, we should have gotten like this type of what we felt from this movie with the first two, but it was like they added Jar Jar for the toy line. It felt like so kids can enjoy something.
Yeah,
and it was just like
that's what to me that's what the droids were for in the first set, because that the droids were comedic without being overtly in your face about it.
Yeah. So like the whole thing with with what we got from J.J. Abrams and Kathleen Kennedy, they tried to take what was popular with Star Wars, gave us a new Death Star and a new Empire with the First Order, and I get they're trying to like tie in the new generation with the old generation. But the Force Awakens was pretty good. It wasn't phenomenal, but it wasn't horrible. But it was the other two, Rise of Skywalker and Last Jedi. Those, like Rise of the Last Jedi, just took whatever JJ was trying to do story wise and threw it out the window and was like, nope, that doesn't matter. This is what I want the story to be. And then the third one was trying to meld what he did with Last Jedi and like trying to fix, and it was just not good. Like I know they were trying to appease the younger audience, to bring in the new wave of of characters and all that, but I mean, you can't really call this the Skywalker saga and kill off the frickin' Skywalkers. I mean, I understand with Carrie Fisher passing away, there's nothing you could, that was, it was just a shock.
Be careful with, and now I know this. Be careful with some of the spoilers.
No, it's okay. It's okay. No, it's okay.
Well, I mean, I mean,
I know nothing
in real life. Well, I won't go into storyline, but they pretty much like, they said this is Skywalker saga, but they just did off with main characters so they can have the new characters flourish, and it's just like I kind of wish they melded the two together and gave us a crescendo ending where, like, what we have in the the original trilogy, pass it off to everyone else, to the new character, the new actors, and be like, here now, and then build their own story after this trilogy. They could have made another 3 movies with the new characters and gone off the way they wanted if they did these 3 properly. If they did it properly and did it right, they could hand off the baton.
Well, and then they missed a lot of opportunities just in Carrie's passing away. They could have dealt with that. Instead, they did what they did, and it was like, wow, they had the opportunity to really send her off as a hero. Instead, now we're dealing with computerized versions of her. It's like, I don't know about that. They missed a great opportunity to pay homage to the actor and to the character.
Correct. Yes, 100%. And I mean, it was just, it was sad to hear what her passing in real life, and and then what they wanted to do with the story wise, now they couldn't do it. So it was just, I don't know. It was just I'm like I said, I like Force Awakens, but that's it.
Do we know that they changed the story because of her passing? Because she was in all the movies.
Yes. She was supposed to be a main focus. She was supposed to be what Luke was, and to carry on the new trilogy pretty much. But because of her passing, they couldn't foretold her story of where she got, because there was deleted scenes where it was her and Luke in like CGI training when they were younger, like after Return of the Jedi, and was supposed to be in the Rise of Skywalker. There was a scene that was supposed to be in there, but they had to cut it because the family said, hey, we don't want Carrie Fisher to be CGI in this. And so, but if she was still alive, it's different, because now you're trying to tell a story of a past point in history of the movie, and you can't really have, I mean, they're in their 60s and 70s trying to jump around like they're in their 20s. So I get what what they were trying to do there, and it was really, really neat, like the little bit, that clip that they had and what they were trying to deliver. It was really going to solidify Rey being trained by Carrie to be the next Jedi, but they couldn't, and then they gave us what we have now. Right. Kind of just like,
it's
like, interesting. Fuck, here we go. And it sucks.
Yeah,
Trust me.
it was sad when that happened for sure. And
It
I'm
was.
sure, like you said, like it changed the trajectory of the story and everything. So this would be a fun time to before we get into the future of Star Wars that we know of right now. I want to talk about the past with Kate because she has seen 2 Star Wars movies for the first time. And I know there's a lot of disagreement with the order in which we chose to watch them.
There was
Okay.
so many triggering opinions.
But
I was a little triggered.
we
I won't
went-
lie.
So fill me in. What order did you
we
end
went
up
with
So,
timeline order.
prequels.
Okay.
She went 1, 2, 3.
Well, a couple reasons why. Okay. She has 0 interest in Star Wars. Okay. She doesn't like old movies also. Okay. So for me, starting with the old ones is like I'm setting us up for failure. Okay.
Not necessarily. I just wanted to watch it in the order that the story would be easiest, like for me to understand.
And that's the thing, like with what I was like telling Mav in the DMs, I was like, starting with 4, 5, 6, that would have gotten you what we all saw when we were growing up. The movie, you got, oh my God. And then 1, 2, and 3, like, oh, that's how all this led up to be what we saw already. That's what that was.
Yeah.
Wait, so she's only seen 1 and 2?
She's only seen 1 and
I've
2.
seen a little bit of
She's
3.
seen a little bit of 3, but it was really late and she got tired. So we're gonna finish
Okay.
that probably tonight.
Caitlin, it gets better. Just I promise you, it gets.
Well, I mean, honestly, I'm thinking about it now. I'm actually really glad that we went with this order because I think she has certain interest in things that she wouldn't have had the other way.
Well, let me
Right.
tell you what I'm really, for some reason, I'm kind of like obsessed with trying to
Guess.
guess what's
Oh.
going to happen. Like it's become a little bit of an obsession for me.
Yeah.
So I really like that about it.
Yeah. Now you like definitely when you finish 3, definitely recommend going with Rogue 1 after 3 before
Yeah.
4, because then this way it'll fill pretty much the end of
Yeah.
Rogue 1 is the starting of episode 4. Like,
But
it's
where
like,
does Solo fall in the timeline? Is it
way before? This was back. He was young.
You're muted,
so he
Jasper.
was.
Oh, I was gonna say it's right after 3 because Han Solo's still young. So
Is it
And the
after
Empire's
3
just starting to
or is
take
it
over.
during 1, 2, and 3 at some point?
it's right after 3 because the Empire's starting to take
Yeah.
over.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
So the next movie we
So-
should watch is Solo, and then Rogue One
Rogue One, and then roll into the next.
And then roll
the
in-
original.
to the original 3.
Yep.
Which the original 1, like I watched it, like I watched it again not too long ago, and it's like it just comes across. It was like meant as if nothing else ever exists, this is going to work as a standalone movie, right?
Yeah, they
And-
really didn't. He didn't think that it was going to blow up like it did.
Yeah.
So that's how that movie. They left it ending like there's going to be something else, but also if there wasn't, it could have been just a standalone
Yeah.
movie.
Also, just so for those of us who are old enough to know, originally when I saw it in the theater in 1977, there was no Chapter 4. There was no A New Hope. It just
Yeah.
rolled into the
Star
scroll.
Wars.
It only said
All
Star
that was
Wars
added
then?
later.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
thought that the For A New Hope was there originally, even to
No.
begin with.
No.
No.
Okay,
All
so
that
it just
was added
called
later.
Star Wars, and they didn't
It's
even
just Star
have that.
Wars.
Okay, that's
Yep.
cool to know. All right, that
Yeah.
makes it even
Yeah,
more
they-
interesting.
They
Yeah.
added the New Hope when they did when they brought out the VHS special editions. That's when they
Yep.
introduced the New Hope. Like,
And
oh,
I'm sad. I used to have the original editions with the old graphics and stuff. I'm sad I don't
Oh,
have
wow.
those VHSs
Okay.
anymore.
That's
I had
cool.
8mm. I had 8mm reel to reel of Star Wars. That was freaking. That was the real way to fucking watch it. I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right,
No
babe.
back. I did not see it in black and white. Jesus.
Babe, what was your impression so far of having
Well, it's
some?
like
Are you liking it a little bit?
I'm not
Or-
gonna have like some technical like review like you guys all would. Like I feel like I'm like a different breed watching these things, and like I pay attention and notice things like completely different than probably what you guys notice.
Mhm.
But the first one, it was it was a little boring. So much of it was at I don't know what that planet was, but
Naboo.
where
No,
Anakin
Tatooine.
lived.
Fucking
Oh, Tatooine.
Tatooine.
It bothered me that they took him from his mom, and they
Yeah.
said it was to give him a better life, but like I know they were slaves, but it didn't really seem like they had it that bad.
Well,
Like no,
Wow.
they had a nice house, like they had food on the table, like it didn't like he went the little shit went about town doing whatever he wanted. It didn't really
Yeah.
seem like they had it that bad. So
Yeah.
I thought
Well-
it was really sad when they took him from his mom.
well, you can be pissed at Qui-Gon for that because he's like, his metachlorine count is off the charts, larger than Yoda. So, they're like, he's the chosen one, bring him along.
Yeah. So
And
like
because
Oh, no.
Anakin went away, Watto couldn't afford his bill, so he had to sell his mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
It got worse.
Yeah, and I thought the whole like Padma and
Padme.
it's not Padma.
it's
No.
No, it's
Padme.
Padme.
Well,
Oh,
it's
okay,
Padme,
whatever.
but no, they
Pad-
do say Padma.
Padme. The whole, like I figured out, I was like, wait a second. Is he Luke Skywalker? Or wait, no, Darth Vader. Darth Vader.
Yeah.
I was like, is Anakin Darth Vader?
Yeah. She
And
figured
Mav
that
was
in
like-
the first movie when he was still a kid.
Yeah. And I was
Well,
like,
I mean, it
wait,
doesn't.
so-
They freaking at the freaking end. They, when they pan to the Palpatine, and then Anakin, all of a sudden you hear. I mean, I'll say, come on.
Also, I
So
think
the-
there's a shadow of like the young kid when like behind the shadow it's like Darth Vader or something like
Oh
that.
no, that was my favorite
was-
movie poster they did for that thing. That's
No.
probably the best thing they did for that movie. You see Anakin standing there in the shadow being cast as a full-grown Vader. That
Yeah.
was an awesome effect. It was a really cool effect for a
I feel like
horror
I
film.
guessed that like pretty early on. So
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
just
that's
good,
good.
okay?
She just
That's
kept
good that
you
you-
kept saying
you're
how
able to do
weird
that.
it was with like him being a little boy and then her being like older,
Yes.
you know.
Yeah,
Because
like,
at the end, after they took him from his mother, she was like on like a ship or whatever with him, and she was like, I'm gonna take care of you now.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
What she was, she
if
had,
you're gonna like take care of this kid, and then eventually you're gonna fucking
That
like
hot
you know.
babysitter.
Yeah.
Well, you know how there's daddies, there's mommies. So she had a kink.
I mean, it was a little weird. It was a little weird.
No kink shaming.
Yeah,
but
Yeah.
She was,
you,
she was into younger boys.
you
No,
didn't
that's
see
that's
Chris.
a kink you can definitely shame, you know.
yeah.
You didn't see Chris Evans walk onto the ship and go, "Excuse me, Padme, why are you here talking to this young child?"
Yeah. So,
Um,
yeah. So moving on from that,
it was weird.
Yeah, it was really, if you think about it, yeah.
But okay,
It gets weirder.
The guy, not Darth Maul, but I do think that we are going to see that dude again at some point in one of the other movies.
You've been
I
on
feel
some
like-
Google.
I
You've been on some
Google.
swear, I
She's-
swear I have not.
She
I
has-
don't give a shit enough to look this
she
stuff
has
up.
intuition, bro. Like she's been saying this shit. Like she doesn't look up this. She doesn't care enough to look on Google. But
I
we'll be
don't.
watching it. She's like, I think this is gonna happen, and I'm like,
Well, I'm not done with my predictions.
Okay.
Okay.
all right.
But I feel like he's
Mm.
too big of a character because I know who he is. I feel like he's too big of a character to have been in only the first movie for that little amount of time.
Okay.
I know who he is because he's always scared me. Like he looks really freaking scary.
Mm-hmm.
And so the other guy in the robe, you know, the guy that's like,
Emperor
The
Palpatine.
Emperor.
yeah, he like, you know, acts like he's like
Darth
a,
Sidious.
he has like
Darth
two,
Sidious. Yeah.
he's like two people.
Yeah,
He's
Yeah.
like an
Darth
evil
Sidious.
person that nobody knows is him, and then he's that other guy.
The Chancellor. Yeah.
Yes. I knew
Chancellor
from the
Valorum.
fucking get-go that guy was bad fucking news.
Yeah. She called
He's-
it like early on. Like
He's bad news.
like the second time she saw him on the screen is like that. She's like, that guy's bad. You know.
Okay.
Now she doesn't
Wow.
know like it beyond. Like she doesn't know
Beyond
Like-
episode 2.
100% how bad or anything yet. You know what I mean? So
Oh, is
we're
he
gonna get
really,
there.
really bad?
I don't know. I'm not gonna tell you.
I
Yeah,
mean,
wait
I think
till episode 3.
he's definitely like, you could just tell someone's up with him. Okay. So I also, this is just gonna throw this out there, this is random. I think that Anakin at some point, I think he's gonna kill Obi-Wan. I'm just putting that out there.
Not saying a thing. Not saying.
That's a prediction I have. I think he has, you can see in the movies like different times when it seems like he's got like resentment to Obi, like especially like he pretty much said he blamed his mom dying on Obi. So I just think that he's going to, and you know, Obi's like, you know,
This is fun.
like mentor and
I'm gonna
stuff.
mute myself.
Obi is his mentor, but Anakin, you know, he's a little bit of like, I don't know the word.
If you just
for it.
finished episode 3, we could have had so much more conversation.
Yeah.
But you know, Anakin's like, I don't need you anymore, pretty much, has the attitude like I'm ready to go on my own. And he's more powerful anyway.
Anakin's a whiny little bastard throughout the
He
entire
is, he
trilogy.
is.
So.
He's got emotional issues, right?
He is.
Um,
And that is why I do think that he's at some point, I don't know how, but I think he's gonna kill Obi-Wan. So there's that. All
Please
right.
don't trust me.
So my
Mhm.
next thing is, you know how Anakin was having those nightmares about his mother and her being in danger.
Yeah.
And so now he's having the same visions about Padme.
Mm-hmm.
And so here's my prediction. Also, so okay, I watched enough of the third one to know that Padme's pregnant,
Yeah.
but she's not just pregnant with one baby. She is
Something wonderful
pregnant.
has happened.
She's pregnant with twins. She is pregnant with Luke and Layla.
Leia.
Leia.
Okay.
Leia, no,
Layla.
Layla's something
Not
totally
me on my
different. Yeah.
knees, Layla.
So she's pregnant with twins. So not
Uh-huh.
only are Luke and Leia,
Yeah.
Luke and Leia siblings, which I know at some point everyone finds out they're siblings. They're not just fucking siblings, they're fucking twins. And at some point, so Padme's gonna die after she gives birth. Okay.
Yeah, some big
She's gonna
babies
die
coming
during
out.
childbirth. She's gonna have twins. It's gonna be Luke and Leia. And then at some point, I don't know why, how, what age they're gonna be, but they are gonna get separated at some point. And that's, you know, would explain how they don't know about that they're siblings in the future. So I don't know how that's going to play out, and so Padma May dying is what is going to be the final push to lead Anakin to the dark side and become Darth Vader.
So those are her predictions.
And
Some
you
are right,
can-
some are wrong. That's all I'm going to say.
I feel like ever since the second movie, when Anakin was more grown up, you know, I feel like they like allude multiple times that he may be headed for like the darkness at some point.
It
And I
couldn't be
think
when he
Padme
decapitated.
dying is definitely going to be like,
Anger
have
leads
to-
to hate. Hate
I have
leads
to
You
admit-
should've let She
Yeah.
should have watched episode
Yeah.
3 before the show.
Yeah, I know.
I want so much.
I have to say that because of the way they had to deal with it, because they knew that most of the fan base had watched the first 3 movies, this had to be very hard for them to write in such a way
Oh,
because all
yeah.
of us know what's going to happen. You
Yeah.
know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Exactly. But it was done like episode 2 and episode 3 was written a lot better than episode 1. I like a lot of
Oh, episode 1 was.
I
If you
do
get
like-
rid of Jar Jar, if you get rid of Jar Jar, episode 1 is much more
I
tolerable.
didn't mind him. I
yeah.
thought he was cute.
and
I
well,
told you
Oh,
she was gonna
yeah.
like Jar
Okay.
Jar.
Jar Jar.
Oh dear God,
it was just bad, and
no.
yeah,
Okay.
I was 5
Hmm.
when episode 1 came out, and I was Jar Jar for Halloween that year. So I'm just gonna point that
You
out
would
there.
have made a great Jar Jar.
okay.
Oh.
I was 4 years old. I think 4 years old when Return of the Jedi came out, and I saw that at theaters. Let's just say that I was 4.
I wasn't born. But,
You young people. You young people.
But anyway, actually, I enjoyed the second one more than the first. And so far, the third one, I don't know what it is, but like I feel like the acting is like ass.
Well, the
There's
thing
some
with
bad
Hayden
CG.
No, that's
Christensen-
Hayden Christensen. Yeah, so
no,
there you go.
hey, well, everybody like don't hate on Hayden.
he was told that people didn't like his acting in episode 2,
No,
so I
it's
think he
everybody in the fucking movie.
tried a little bit hard, but it this is like trying to tell a story that's almost already been told because of episode 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
it
like
was-
the entire episode 3 is like a meme. Like you can just like meme any scene out of that. Just like pick a scene and it's a meme. So,
Yeah.
I forgot to mention this to Mav last night, but there's a scene where Obi and Anakin are fighting with that old
Dooku?
dude, the old bad dude.
Yeah, Count Dooku.
on Dooku.
Yeah, Count Chocula, whatever the fuck his name is.
Yeah.
So anyway, there's this one fucking scene where something like falls
I
onto
know exactly what you're talking
Obi,
about. It's so
and
bad.
the way
looking.
Obi's body moves when that thing falls on him
It was like,
is so ass. I was like,
Mhm.
how could they even put this in here?
yeah, it was like he was like smear, like his legs should have been like
Brush.
And
Yeah,
he kind of just
exactly.
like moves a little bit.
Just wait
I was
till
like,
you see
what
the
the fuck
fight
is this?
scenes in the original trilogy.
Yeah.
Leave him.
No.
There's no time.
You
His fate
wanna
will be the
talk
same
about-
as
Unathletic lightsaber fighting.
It was just weird. Like, I mean, I would have expected more from when
Yeah.
they came out.
but that epic that
I
wait
think
till-
that's the CG in that is they like switched to blue screen or whatever, so it was like still kind of new. So like they were figuring out the CG like back then.
Mhm.
yeah.
And yeah, General Grievous.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Like,
And-
you know, the second one where they're I don't know what it was called. They were
In the Coliseum.
basically like with all the like the dinosaurs and shit, and they had like those
Oh.
columns that they had to like
Yeah, in the
Yeah.
Coliseum.
Geonosis.
Yeah.
Geonosis.
like the
Geonosis.
gladiator stuff.
Yeah.
Like I thought the CG was like way better in that.
Yeah, that
they-
scene was really good, actually. You know, for
Yeah, that was like an epic for Star Wars fans. Just seeing like all these Jedi's in one freaking scene was like it was epic for me.
Yeah.
I think it's because there wasn't as much CGI in episode 2, so they had more time to work on it. Whereas in episode 3, it's like all CGI. So it's just
Yeah.
like
yeah.
it was mostly CGI.
Episode that part in episode 2 where you do see that Coliseum shot and you see like the lightsabers glowing throughout the crowd, right? That was like, oh my gosh, because like as somebody who watched Star Wars only on the movies, that for me that was the first time I saw that many Jedi, right? Just seeing that as
like 10
it's a-
came out of it.
yeah, exactly. And then you hear the like knowing what's gonna happen in the Clone Wars and all that stuff. Like I'm familiar with the stories and stuff. Like, there's certain moments I'm waiting for. Again, rewatching these with her, just to like
Mhm.
experience that again. Because yeah, the rest of this, I feel like I want to.
So based on some of my predictions, do I have anything that's gonna like blow my mind?
Yes.
Or am I gonna be like, called it?
Oh,
You-
yeah.
you-
Yeah.
you're gonna be surprised by your predictions, but you're also gonna be like, okay, I didn't see that come. Okay, all right, I was, that was that was
Okay, I
really
got
cool.
that one wrong.
Are you looking shit up?
What are you doing right
No.
now?
What?
What do you mean you got that wrong? Which one?
No, I'm saying like,
No,
will
she
I
was
be
just-
like that when
Oh,
I'm
okay.
watching them?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
I was like,
yeah,
you
yeah.
stop it. You stop looking at okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I would not waste my fucking time or energy looking up Star Wars
You
shit.
will. I think you would really appreciate the even though they're old, they did give like a fresh coat of paint to it, and like okay, episode 1 or episode 4 will be a little slow, but it's telling a story, and at that time, just remember nothing like this was ever put on the screen. This is the first time, so like CGI and all that kind of special effects was really not done well as what you'll see in episode 4. Episode 4 was like pretty much state of the art. Um, episode 5 is like the best. You'll like that, and you'll definitely like 6 because it definitely feels a lot more modern
Mhm.
with the CGI and with the choreography and everything. Even
Still
the
like the teddy
storytelling.
bears.
Oh, she'll
Mhm.
love the Ewoks. Fucking love them. She'll be like, I fucking want one, man. We're gonna fucking order them. Find wherever they live. We're gonna get them.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing like the more updated modern ones.
Yeah. Take episode 4, watch it, knowing that 5 and 6 are like leaps and bounds better than what episode 4 was.
When 4 was made, it was a complete story because I didn't think they were going to make any more. So you got to kind of
Exactly.
keep that in mind too.
Yeah. So
Right.
so once 5 to me is the best. I saw the 40th anniversary edition last year before once COVID lifted its initially when they lifted all the bans. I saw the 40th anniversary and I was in the theater in tears because it just brought so much joy. Because I was like, I never saw it at the theater. I was too young. I was like 1 years old when that came out, or
Mhm.
yeah, I was almost 1, so I don't remember any of that. So you definitely will be happy with episode 5 and 6.
So I
Also
have a
realize when you're
question.
watching the 4, 5, and 6, a lot of that technology they used is the
Mhm.
predecessor to a lot of the technology you enjoy now.
Right.
Okay, because those were the early days. That's just LucasArts going, well, we
Light
need to do this.
magic.
What can we do to do this? Which is
Right.
exactly what it was.
Yeah, they made up a lot of that technology, a lot of the special effects that because it was not there, so they had to make it up. They had to invent it. That's what light and magic was, and a
Yep.
lot of special effects nowadays uses light and magic studios for their CG and their special effects.
Yeah. There's a lot. The thing is, like, Star Wars is something where it's like everybody has a different favorite, and
Yeah.
it's like all of them are like I know Star Wars fans like hate some of them for story reasons and stuff like that, but like as movies themselves, they're all big budget, like big time movies that are enjoyable to watch, right? So, um,
I have a question though. In the other movies, once like Darth Vader is introduced, do we ever see him like without his mask on? Or his helmet
No.
or whatever the hell you want
No.
to call it?
No,
No.
you never see him without his helmet off. They you
Never?
never, because you'll find out why.
Well, I mean,
okay,
you
we can't.
kind
Oh.
of
Jasper, never. Come on, we're not gonna.
Oh,
ruin this.
I'm guessing like something happens to his face or something.
Oh, just wait.
Yeah.
I have the high ground. That's all I gotta say. I have the high ground.
Guessing something happens to his maybe the same thing that happened to his his hand just got forgot what happened to his hand. Did it get lightsabered off?
Cut it off.
Yeah, by
Yeah.
Dooku in the
Yeah.
second movie.
Dooku. And that pissed off Palpatine a lot.
But then he cut off both of Dooku's hands before decapitating him.
He's too dangerous to be left alive.
Oh, wait. The Dooku was the Count Dracula guy, right?
Yeah.
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 And then
There
you
you
hear
go.
then you hear Darth Vader's mask at the like when he does that and it's like
Oh, that was the scene. What wasn't that last night
Yeah, it's the
where
first
he
part of
he like
episode 3.
crossed the lightsabers and then cut his head off?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
like he
Chancellor
shouldn't have done
Palpatine's like,
that
"Do
because
it."
it's not the Jedi way.
right.
But he's got too much darkness in him. It's starting to come out more and more. And once Padme dies, that's it.
Yeah. It's
But what I want to know, I'm curious, who takes the fucking kids?
that's
You'll
what
just
you
Someone
have to
takes
find out.
one.
You have to
Someone
finish
takes
the
one.
movie.
Someone takes the other.
You got to find out.
Yeah,
You
there's
watch it.
something I want to say about him regarding kids, but I'm going to let it go at that.
No, I originally I knew that Luke and Leia were siblings. But until Anakin had those visions of something happening to her in childbirth, that's when it clicked with me, like, holy shit, they're fucking twins. She's pregnant with twins.
Have you ever heard the story of Darth Plagueis?
Yeah.
Yeah, you will. Just yeah.
And that's when she
Episode-
like started. We watched it late, and she was getting really tired, and she kind of like started dozing off. So she was like, "Look, we just need to stop it because I don't want to miss anything." Right?
Yeah, you definitely need to pay attention
Hey.
to episode 3 because it tells a lot of what's going to come in 4, 5, and pretty much episode 4.
I just want everybody to know that I have given this my full attention.
Yeah, I think
That's
they can
good.
tell.
And I have
Yes.
I didn't play on my phone. I haven't touched it. So I'm invested and I'm
Are
really
you
trying to
actually?
pay
Do you
attention.
actually care what's going to happen?
I care to see how like right I am.
Hey, that's a W in my book.
Yeah. Do you
Because then
s-
that got you to be involved. That you now want to know what's going on within the movies. So
yeah, I
you're
also yeah, I do. I mean,
because
yeah.
you're like, all right, am I right? And then you're gonna be like, what the fuck? Seriously? You're gonna be like, what? And then and then
It's like the
episode-
more of the story that is getting unraveled for me, the more like I want to know. I feel
would
like
you
there's so
say-
many like unanswered questions
because
all the time.
because episode 4 contradicts a little bit with what actually happened, and you'll find that out when someone tells a story about a certain somebody, and you'll be like, that didn't happen, fucking liar.
Your
And then
father
you go-
fought in the Clone Wars?
Your father wanted you to have his lightsaber. Yeah, kiss my ass.
So would you say that you like it so far? It's okay to
I'm
say you
in-
do. I know this is hard for you.
Yeah, I wouldn't like, I don't think I would ever choose to sit down and watch them still. I am enjoying the experience of watching them.
Mhm.
Okay. That
I'm
makes
enjoying
sense.
I am enjoying the conversation. I feel like there's so much to talk about with them.
Oh yeah.
There
That's
is, and we can't talk about it because you didn't finish the third movie.
So yeah, next we'll do Solo. After we finish 3, we'll do Solo, and then we'll do Rogue One, and then finally she will get to see what happens with.
See, and I'm letting you know right now, when we do a wrap up show on this, when she's done or the next step, I want to be on that one too.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Is the third one the last Hayden one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's supposed to come back in a TV show later on, but we'll see.
Yeah. I'm excited for the TV series Obi-Wan. That's going to be good.
Yeah,
Kenobi.
that's gonna hopefully they
Kenobi
do
is
that
going
well.
to be good. Yeah, if they If
I
they
guess that's gonna be like a prequely type show because Anakin's gonna kill him. So
No,
it must be so hard for you guys not to say things.
It's gonna be interesting. That's all I gotta say. It's gonna be interesting. So,
So has she have you watched any of Mandalorian?
I have not.
Kate,
No, she
Nope.
hasn't.
Yeah.
because
Timeline
remember
wise,
those are
that's
going to
like
start filtering through the middle of the timeline as well. Those are gonna
yeah,
start filtering
like
through the middle.
where does that exactly like happen with the timeline, like with Mandalorian?
I
That's
think
like
it's
after,
a few years after 6.
right?
Yeah, because the whole Boba
First
Fett,
Order starting to develop.
Boba
Right.
Fett was in the Sarlacc pit, supposedly, and and that's where that pretty much it's like after episode.
Right. So after
6.
6, should we watch both seasons of Mandalorian, then go into 7, 8, 9?
You
Well,
could just
by
skip
then
7,
it's going to
8,
be
9.
we're going to be third season in the Mandalorian by then, depending on how long it takes you to get up that far.
We can
Well-
binge those because those are good. Right. I think she'll really
Right.
enjoy Mandalorian.
So wait, do the Star Wars movies go by trilogy?
The Skywalker saga,
actually, yeah,
has
kind of,
pretty
yeah.
much, yeah. There's been like 3 sets of movies
3.
that have come
3.
out.
Right.
And then there's Solo and Rogue One, which are standalone, but they fit into the timeline.
Yeah, Rogue One was probably one of the better of the newer standalone movies. Solo,
I think Solo gets underrated. Solo gets
Yes.
way underrated. It's
Yes,
much
thank
better than
you.
people give it
I like
credit
Solo
for.
Thank
better
you.
than Rogue One. I just think it was a
What?
bad timing because it just came out after 7 and everyone was
Yeah.
hating on it, and it just kind of
See,
became shit.
Psycho. See, it's not just me. It's not just
Wait
me.
a second. Wait a second. I just thought of something. You
Yeah.
do end up seeing under Darth Vader's mask at some point.
no,
Because fucking doesn't Adam Driver play Darth Vader?
No.
no.
Oh, okay. Just kidding. Just testing you guys.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Sorry.
You will see Vader without a mask at episode.
Well, I mean, you already have seen Vader without a
6.
mask because you've been watching.
I
Hayden
know, but
Christensen.
like, so do
Adam
I just
Driver is
assume-
like 40 years after what you're watching right now.
Do I just
Yeah.
assume that like every time I'm watching Darth Vader, it's Hayden Christensen under there?
Eh,
Because I mean, I can do that.
Sure.
Some people
Yeah.
change.
And he
you
will
know?
say
Yeah.
he will sound like James Earl Jones at some point.
yeah,
So Hayden Christensen under there gets older, maybe looks a little different. You aren't gonna see it. Doesn't matter. Maybe you will, but who knows? I'm not gonna say.
I'll just think of him as I
And
see him now.
His voice gets a little different. That's all. You know?
Well, it only gets different because he's talking through the mask.
Yeah. He's gonna sound like the blind guy in Sandlot that has the Babe Ruth ball.
Yeah, James Earl Jones.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna sound like it. George? I know George. All right. So I'm glad that you're invested in this, and we're gonna do this more. Like after you watch more of them, we're gonna do this again, and after we watch more of them, then we'll do it again, and it will get your Star Wars updates and predictions the entire time.
How many do I have? Like, is
freaking
it
love it.
10 total?
Well,
There's 11 movies.
11, yeah. And if you don't count the Ewok movies and the Christmas special.
No one counts those.
Right. And then there's the show.
Well, I mean, that wasn't agreed to, so
That wasn't agreed to. Well,
I just can't wait for the final and just like explain stuff that she didn't like catch on to and stuff. Like
Mhm.
that's
there's a lot to catch up on, but I think you watching the whole saga like all kind of in a shorter span like this, you will like grasp a lot of it really well. Right?
I'm
'Cause-
curious if I've missed anything like big that I just like haven't caught on to.
cannot
I don't-
confirm more than that.
I don't think so.
Habla español.
I don't think so.
Well, there's some
I'd be
stuff
more,
that's
I'd
like
be more
unexplained.
excited if you acted like maybe, babe.
There's some stuff that's unexplained, like even like in the movies, like
Mhm.
the Clone Wars TV show really like explains some of it, but
Yeah. I mean, I think you're doing a great job picking up on the biggest parts, but there's definitely
Yeah.
stuff that is important, but you're not going to know it was important until later,
Right.
right?
Got you.
especially in episode 2 when they were around the round table in the Coliseum before the fight, like they showed some plans for some later on stuff. But
Yeah. Transferring of information, possibly. So we know, like right now, what's to come. Basically,
Okay,
we
wait.
have
So
we
should
have an
I
outline.
bounce?
You can bounce if you want. Like we're not like I'm going into the future of Star Wars now. So, if you don't want any spoilers, I guess. But
I don't
know
know
if
the
we're gonna-
future of Star Wars yet, though.
Well,
I think
we're
well, some of what we're going to talk about is a lot of speculation.
Yeah.
Just the name.
Yeah.
he's talking about like games and new movies and shows and stuff. Not
Yeah,
like,
and not stuff that we've all seen. Stuff none of us have seen.
Yeah.
So,
Cool.
it's up to you if you want to stick around for that. But
Yeah, I'm gonna bounce just because I have things to do.
okay, thanks.
I need to go finish my cake.
Yeah, thanks for sharing your Star Wars thoughts, babe.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's really interesting to hear what you have to say. I can't wait till the next installment.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm sorry I'm not very professional with it. I just
No,
I
it's,
think I like-
it's great. It's
Fantastic.
great.
You know-
Seriously.
Mav, you should, when she watches episode 3 solo and Rogue One, then you probably should do another one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So the
that's a
next
good idea.
talk about,
Um,
and then episode 7, 8, 9.
Yeah, and then the original series, the trilogy. Yeah.
okay.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I got to give a shout out to 3-Bit. Because of his commitment to watch movies he hasn't seen,
Mhm.
is why Kate has started watching Star Wars. So thank you for your sacrifice.
What do you mean? Thank you to him. I'm the one that proposed the
The deal.
challenge or
Yeah, but
deal,
he had
whatever.
He did have to go do it. Which
Mhm.
those movies that he
I have
hadn't
not
seen.
confirmed with him how many movies he has watched yet.
Yeah, that we need to know. 3-Bit.
at least 2.
He's supposed to have 4 right now. It's supposed to be 2 for every one Star
Yeah.
Wars that I watch.
Yeah. We'll see. He's probably got it. That list of movies that he hasn't seen is like, I mean, we're doing him a favor with this. You know what I mean? He's missed out on like some of the best comedies ever. So
Yeah.
he's getting caught up. He's going to be a funnier person moving forward with his life.
See,
knowing
I
these
can't wrap my
lines.
head around all y'all who haven't watched a lot of movies. I just can't wrap my head. around
I
that.
dude,
I've
I'm a
seen so
movie
many
nut
movies.
too, man. It's hey, all right. So we got this list.
Well, I'm
This is-
gonna
all right,
bounce.
bye, baby. Love you.
Okay.
All right, bye,
Bye, Caitlin.
guys.
Bye, Kate.
Hey,
So we know that okay, so it's Kathleen Kennedy and yeah, she's in JJ Abrams or whatever. Is Kathleen Kennedy pretty much just like in charge right now of Star
No,
Wars?
yeah,
Mark.
everything has to go through her. She's the president of
No,
Lucasfilm or whatever.
I thought she was.
I thought
stepped
she
down.
was booted. I thought she
She was. She was booted, and Lucas is now head.
George Lucas is.
Yeah, that's what I was under the understanding.
So
He-
he's back.
I thought that was
involved
just
in-
rumors. I didn't think that was like confirmed though.
like I know George Filoni is.
You mean Dave Filoni?
Dave, yeah, Jesus Christ, Dave. Well, no, he's a combination of George Lucas and himself.
Yeah.
Filoni, he I know he's taken over from here on out with the new stuff. I don't know about movie wise, but I thought George Lucas is now heading up like the movies, and Filoni is going to head up the TV series. I didn't.
Okay.
That's what I thought, but
I hadn't
could-
heard anything about Lucas being back in there at all.
Yeah, I thought I watched a couple. There was just a bunch of stuff with like all the Star Wars like podcasts, like last year.
Was it
talking about
speculation
it.
or was it just
Yeah, I've
actual?
always just heard it like people just like rumoring that. I've never like thought that was
I-
confirmed.
There were a couple episodes that said that that they kicked Kathleen Kennedy out and George Lucas. Favreau was going to take over And then he's like, you know what, never mind. And then Lucas, they offered it to Lucas, and Lucas took it over. But
So the last thing I see is from June 1st on it says that multiple reports suggest the creator of Star Wars is back in creative control under the Lucasfilm banner, which is now owned by Disney. In fact, one report suggests Lucas is involved in a new trilogy of films. So it's a rumor.
yeah,
Okay.
It's a rumor, but hey, if that's happening, that's cool. But as of right now, it seems like Kathleen Kennedy is the person that.
So I believe like her like contract was like scheduled to be due up like at the end of last year or something, but she got renewed.
Actually,
so.
end of October. She's actually at the end of this October 30th. She's done. Her contract is up. I'm looking at that right now.
And that's what I thought. That's when then it could have been what I was hearing, that when that happens and Lucas is taking over.
Yeah, the wannabe critics. Shout out to Gabe. He's like saying that he's not involved with them right now. He does a lot of reviews and stuff on his channel, and I was pretty familiar with Star Wars stuff. So, but
I follow it pretty closely too. That's what I'm saying. I don't think George is going to be back in charge of anything. I mean, they kind of,
Yeah, I think that was just a rumor, and I think only was found on this discreet website. Because I Googled
only
it.
fanboys want that rumor.
Because
they're not good fanboys at that.
Yeah. So I don't think it's happening, but it was a rumor. So I think that's where you're getting that from. And but we do know this list. This is on Variety.com of proposed and in planned Star Wars movies and shows and stuff. So I want to go through this and see what the future of Star Wars is looking like and what we think of that, right? Currently, right now, we got Bad Batch, we got Visions, and we have Mandalorian is about to have season 3, right? And movie-wise, though, there's not a lot of news, right? We got the Obi-Wan show coming, but we'll go with start with the Book of Boba Fett. We're about to get a reveal of that, I think, at an event soon, in the next week or two, I think, because they're supposed to show something from that. And that is going to be a show, right? It's like a special show.
Yeah.
It's I don't know how many. It's a series, so I don't know how many episodes it's going to be. But I know a lot of people are excited about that. And if you're a fan of The Mandalorian, I'm sure this is going to take some things from that show as well.
By the way, you did miss one. We have for 2023, we have Rogue Squadron.
Yeah, I'm getting into those. I have a list here. So the first one, it says December 2021 is Book of Boba Fett. Then we have Visions, which is going on now. Just came out. What do you think of Visions, Jasper? Because I know you watched a couple episodes.
So far, the first two haven't really done much for me. I'm gonna continue it just because I like Star Wars, but I don't know. The first two is they're also 10 minutes, 15 minutes, so you can't really get much of a connection with any of the characters. It's kind of hard.
Are they canon?
No, it's just fan stuff.
Okay.
Fan made.
Yeah.
All right.
But they're anime fan made.
Yeah.
Right, by famous anime studios though, right?
Yeah. It's interesting because now we got a animation of Star Wars different from what we've seen with Clone Wars and Bad Batch. So it's a fresh take on Star Wars through other people's eyes, and who knows? It could if the stories go well enough, it could be a canon at some point.
Right.
Never say never with the power of money with Disney.
Yeah. And then we have is it Andor or Andor?
Andor, I think.
Andor.
Cassian Andor.
Yeah. And then it says Andor, which is another show. So far we got Visions, which is a show. We got Book of Boba Fett, which is a show. And we got Andor, which is a show. That's gonna be on Disney Plus as well. And I'm actually excited about that one just because it kind of picks up on a character that we got to learn from Rogue One, right? And we'll see. Rogue One was good. I wonder if there'll be any returning characters from that or what. Then we have Obi-Wan Kenobi, another show.
Mhm.
Again, it's
That's
like
definitely the
lot
most
of
hype
shows.
show I'm waiting for.
Obi-Wan. Yeah, and Ewan McGregor, I wonder how, like, what stories are going to tell with that, right?
I think it has to be like after episode, like or like before episode 4, like right after 3, like when he's just sitting on Tatooine watching Luke.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and basically older Ben Kenobi and the adventures on
I'm hoping we
Tatooine.
see
You know?
the Darth Maul Obi-Wan fight live action on Tatooine.
Oh,
That's what I'm
that would be
hoping
nice.
for.
Yeah, that would be nice.
See, this is what it says. It says Revenge. Wait, 10 years after Revenge of the Sith. So they give us the answer here.
Yeah.
It's set 10 years after Revenge of the Sith. The 6-episode limited series will explore Obi-Wan's time in exile on Tatooine,
Yeah.
which will
So
be
10 years after would put it right in the middle, by the way. That because there's 20 years between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope.
okay. So this is
So-
right smack dab in the middle of that, which will be revealed as more eventful than most fans assumed. Kathleen Kennedy announced that Hayden Christensen will return as Darth Vader, who will battle his old master in the rematch of the century. The cast also
Now, see,
includes
that
Joel
breaks canon.
Edgerton.
That breaks canon. That
Yeah.
breaks canon. But okay.
The cast also includes Joel Edgerton, who we saw actually in episode 2. So I forget what his name was. And Lars? Is it Lars or no? Lars was the other guy.
Uncle, yeah, that was.
Bonnie PC Kamal Nanjiani. Okay. O'Shea Jackson Jr. They got a good cast for this. So it's executive produced by Kathleen Kennedy, Michelle Redwan, Deborah Crow, blah blah blah. Okay, so Kathleen Kennedy's in charge of that one. Executive producer on Andor is Tony Gilroy, and Book of Boba Fett, John Favreau, and Kathleen Kennedy will serve as executive producers. So Kathleen Kennedy's involved with that one too. So that one's John Favreau, Dave Filoni, Robert Rodriguez, and Kathleen Kennedy for the Book of Boba Fett.
That's the same people who did Mandalorian.
Okay. And Mandalorian's great. So it's, more Mandalorian season 3, undated, but we know that's coming. Then Rogue Squadron, the movie that you were just referring to, Paul, is finally a movie,
Right.
right?
I'm looking forward to it too. Yeah.
Patty Jenkins, director of Wonder Woman, is directing this movie, and it's loosely based on the X-Wing novel series, which I'm not familiar with that. I am familiar with.
It's going to be kind of like Top Gun, but with like Star Wars ships.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
A lot of dog.
Those books were very good. Those books were very good too. So.
I think we saw like an interview preview or something like that with her, like talking about it from somewhere.
Is what's the Poe? Is it Poe? I forget his name.
Poe Dameron.
Poe Dameron. Yeah. I wonder if is he going to be involved with this at all?
Well, they could change canon and stuff. Like Rogue Squadron right now is not canon until they make it again because they took that out, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they
Yeah,
can change whatever.
that was part of the extended universe that they removed. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So there's that movie that's and that's in December of 2023 is when that's planned. So that's a couple years out. But finally, that's the next Star Wars movie is actually a little over 2 years away. That's pretty like surprising. Like, it's a good like 4 years between movies, but we're getting like all these shows.
I mean, you had a 20-year break back from the 80s to the 2000s.
Yeah, but not was Disney involved.
Yeah.
Disney's in charge now. You would think they'd be pumping them out left and right. Like, there's 4 MCU movies this year, right?
Well, I think maybe they learned not to pump them out like that though.
Yeah.
Not to, because that's kind of what happened.
Yeah,
with
yeah.
Solo and all that stuff. So
it
they
just
learned,
surprises me just because
Yeah.
it's Disney that there's not more, right? It seems like
Yeah.
they're really focusing on getting the subscription with Disney Plus, and that's the main focus. and as opposed to releasing movies for the theater, right? So I think that's where their main goal is here. So another one on to Disney Plus, Ahsoka. Is Ahsoka or Ahsoka?
Ahsoka Tano.
Ahsoka. Yeah, that's just what it says. Ahsoka is what it's quotation is called.
She was in the Mandalorian episode.
Yeah, it was she was great.
Yeah.
So after making her live action debut in Chapter 13 of The Mandalorian, Rosario Dawson will reprise her role as Ahsoka Tano, a fan favorite central character in the animated Clone Wars series, and her own live action series. Dave Filoni, who created the character, will executive produce alongside the Mandalorian showrunner, Jon Favreau. So there's a lot of hope to be had on that show.
And that's the strong female character that everyone wants from Star Wars, not Rey.
Right.
Just FYI.
Right.
Then we have another show. Rangers of the New Republic. Which this one actually I'm pretty excited about. Now, the interesting thing was that the one lady, I forget her name, was actually, I think, supposed to be like a big part of the show, because they even alluded to it in The Mandalorian when she's like, was like, I'm going to go join the Rangers or whatever, right?
Cara Dune.
Yeah. And then she got kicked off of all this stuff for some like comments or something she made. I don't remember exactly what happened, but
I think they added her back though, didn't they?
Yeah,
did
she's
they?
back.
She's back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they pulled
Yeah.
a James Gunn, like, hey, you're not wanted anymore, but then
Yeah,
welcome
Gina.
back, Gina Carano. Yes, Gina Carano. So she's back. Okay. So this is out of date then, because this says making the third spinoff off of The Mandalorian from executive producers Jon Favreau and Filoni, the series will follow a group of New Republic soldiers traveling the galaxy. It was suggested that Cara Dune would star after Carson Teva offered her a place in the New Republic, but after Gina Carano was fired by Lucasfilm in February, the showrunners likely returned to the drawing board. Out of all the characters featured in The Mandalorian, it's still most likely that X-Wing pilots Carson Teva and Trapper Wolf will appear in this series. So I don't know if she this may just be out of date.
Because I thought there was like a lot of Twitter backlash, and they're like, "Fine, we'll hire her back." But I mean, she still has to, I guess, sign to like, "Yeah, I'll come back." I don't know. She may say no. Screw you guys.
Right.
But
I'm not sure. Anybody in the chat knows Gina Carano's back or not? I hadn't heard that she's back.
I've been following her on Twitter, so she's back. She's reprising her role. They pretty much apologized to her for doing that because the comments that was made or whatever it was, it was like, yeah, it was kind of in poor taste, but it wasn't really.
I don't even
reason to
remember
get
what it was
rid of her.
about. I just remembered it was over something she said or whatever.
It was a tweet, and it wasn't that bad. People took it out of proportion, and Disney just, instead of looking into it,
Yeah.
they acted on it and fired her, and then they were like, "Oh fuck, we messed up."
Yeah, that's what Disney does. They knee jerk react sometimes. So.
It says as of July 13th, she's not currently employed by Lucasfilm, and there are no plans for her to be in the future.
When was this?
July 13th.
Of this year?
Yeah.
Then it
Well,
says
July was back when it actually
that's-
went down, wasn't it? Around
well, in June, I think, is when the rumors Gina Carano convinces fans
Yeah.
she's returning to Star Wars.
yeah.
And then Lucasfilm made it clear that they have no plans. I don't think she's back. Right.
Oh yeah, she may have said that to try to force them to, or to
Yeah.
because she's been doing some pretty strange stuff since that all went down.
So I'm not. Yeah. I don't think she's back, but I clicking typing Gina Carano back on Star Wars. That's all that comes up is this stuff. So there's
Well,
nothing like concrete saying
Well,
that
she
she's back.
just tweeted something the other day, so they might not bring her back.
What did she tweet? It was just like
Pretty much comparing COVID to HIV.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they
So,
probably won't bring her back.
No.
She probably just
Yeah. Yeah. Compares COVID-19 vaccine passports to HIV epidemic.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, okay. I'm starting to remember actually now some of the stuff that she said and
Yeah,
what
that's
caused
what it
it.
was all.
Yeah.
She.
Okay. And then,
She doesn't have good takes.
yeah. So, and being a public figure, you know, I'm not gonna like come and say, hey, people don't have right to say what they want on things like that. But like at the same time, like they have a right to hire who they want, also, right? So we'll see where that goes, but it doesn't seem like that she's back. Um, so yeah, maybe that was a good decision. I'm not sure. um, let's see. So she's not back as of we know right now. Then we have the Acolyte. Which is a movie that takes place a century before the Phantom Menace.
Yeah, in the High
Oh.
Republic.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
we're going way back.
Way
Some of
back.
that stuff is really interesting. Some
Yeah.
of that stuff.
want-
is really
Not
want
back
the-
far enough though.
I
We
want
the
the
Old
old
Republic.
interesting.
Old Republic. Come on. Come
Yeah.
on, Disney. If you're listening, bring out some Old Republic. You can take this storyboard and do whatever you want because there's, you can make your own canon. It just, there's the possibilities. I mean, this is the Old Republic was like the peak of like the Republic and their power and why Jedi's came to be and all this.
Oh, actually, it's not a movie; it's a series. I'm sorry. It's another show. Okay,
Yeah.
but it says taking place about a century before the Phantom Menace. The mystery thriller series will revolve around a female character who will uncover shadowy secrets in a time where dark side powers are brewing.
Yeah, they
maybe
just put out a book for that this year.
the series is being developed by Russian doll creator Leslie Headland and Lucasfilm story executive Brandon Roberts. And it says the series will take place during the final days of the High Republic, which is the main era being explored in Lucasfilm's current slate of novels and comics. So is it possible that Darth Plagueis potentially, because like, hey, he was able to not.
I know people are thinking Yoda will be in it, but
Yeah. Because Darth Plagueis like supposedly was able to control like life or something, right? Alluded to, so maybe you could see something there.
I
Not
think
sure.
100 years prayer may be a little bit too soon for Plagueis. I thought he was older than that. Before
Plagueis?
that.
Well, was he? Who was Palpatine's?
I could be. Oh yeah, if he was Palpatine, it's possible. We really don't know how old Palpatine was at that point. We know he was,
like Darth Bane. That's like old. That's like I think that's back in Old Republic. Darth Bane.
right.
And I mean, but they could do like there's so much. There's I mean, you can touch on at least with Old Republic, with Raven, and that whole, at least from where we got from the video game, and there's so much there's the books that could be canon that they could possibly go back and touch.
I just can't wait to see Tatooine 100 years before we saw it.
Yeah. Well, what's nice is by only going back 100 years, they can still touch on some of the characters that we know about. That from the movies and stuff, including possibly Yoda, or
Oh yeah, Yoda's 900 years old, so
if they go back 1,000 years, then you're talking about only those of us who read the old books would know anything about.
Yeah. I think 100
so,
years is good. You can kind of see maybe some of the stuff that started brewing, what it ends up happening in the whole Skywalker saga, right? Lando is another. Is it a show? It's another show.
Yeah.
More shows. Wow, there's so many shows. Donald Glover is going to be in it.
Making love to robots.
No details about the upcoming project have been revealed. There are 2 actors who have portrayed Land on the big screen. Blah blah blah. I think it says that Donald Glover is going to be in it. So it says it's more likely that Glover would star. There's no one saying both actors couldn't appear in their own respective time periods. So I guess Billy D. Williams is still, out there, so they may, I guess it depends on when Lando, what timeline it is. There's just not a lot of info. So Lando will be another show. Then there's a droid story, which is another show.
Sounds like an animated show. Just
I have zero interest in anything
Yeah.
that's just focused on droids. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
It's just-
droid could be another. I think it is animated.
It says it will blend traditional Star Wars animation with visual effects from Lucasfilm's Industrial Light and Magic division. Still early in development. It will introduce a new hero to be guided by the iconic droid duo of C-3PO and R2-D2 on a mission only known to them.
sounds like I'm not watching it.
Definitely probably going to be more geared towards kids, I would think.
Yeah.
Right.
well, and where are they going to squeeze it into the timeline? Holy
Yeah.
crap.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting because they got to be together, right? They were separated a lot. Untitled Taika Waititi movie. In development for theaters. After directing the season 1 finale of The Mandalorian, Waititi is currently slated to direct his own Star Wars film, where it's unclear which era Waititi's film will be featured in or any familiar faces will appear. Kathleen Kennedy said the director's approach will be fresh, unexpected, and unique.
Last time she said that we got like episode 3 or 2.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
And all of these things too, I'm seeing a very common theme, Kathleen Kennedy, right? With basically in charge of making the plans for all this stuff and hiring and all that.
Which means if her contract is up at the end of next month, a lot of this could change in a heartbeat.
Yeah. So then the next thing is this thing, it actually alludes to the fact that this could get canned, which I think a lot of you may be happy if it does. Because this is the untitled Rian Johnson movie trilogy.
Yeah, please cancel it.
Yeah, for the love
Is it
of...
Rian or Ryan?
Ryan.
Ryan?
Ryan.
Okay.
That guy fucking ruined The Last Jedi. He fucking ruined it. Like
He ruined Star Wars.
he took
ruined all of Star Wars. Period.
took
Okay.
a decent story with freaking Force Awakens and tossed it like fucking Luke Skywalker tossing a fucking lightsaber, which in my case, Luke would never have done that ever, regardless of his faith with the Force. He would have never tossed it aside. Never. And he just took it like, what's this? Like, I'm like, what? From there, that point, that tone of that whole movie was down. It was just what just killed it for me. I was like, nope, I'm done.
All right. So.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
I want a little bit of rant.
It says, with Rian Johnson's busy schedule and the divisive reactions to The Last Jedi, it's unclear when, if at all, this trilogy will enter production. When Variety asked the director in 2020 if he was still developing the project, he responded, "I'm still talking to Lucasfilm, but they haven't responded. They haven't gotten back to me." No, I'm just kidding. They haven't announced anything on their slate yet. So, I'm still talking to them, but they haven't.
They're not talking to me. Yeah, I like it. I'm talking to them. They're not talking to me. But
I'm
whatever.
Still talking to Lucasfilm, but they haven't responded. No, he doesn't know. He doesn't know what's going on right now. Basically, he made a movie that people hate, and he hasn't gotten a call back. Probably they haven't been ringing up his phone to follow up on the promises that were made. Potentially, I don't know what's going on there. This one's interesting to me. This is a person that me and Paul have different opinions on, very much so. Untitled Kevin Feige movie.
Oh,
yeah. In development for theaters, after overseeing dozens of Marvel Cinematic Universe projects, and making it the most successful franchise of all time. Kevin Feige is developing a new Star Wars film with Kathleen Kennedy. No details about the film have been revealed. That's all it says. So,
I actually have no problem with that. He has done well with Marvel, and I mean, they're probably going to let him do whatever he wants. If he wanted to have a movie about droids having sex, Disney would be like, hey, if it'll make money, go for it, Kevin. You know, yeah. So
I appreciate
right
how he
now,
like picks characters that aren't well known. So like you can maybe get like a Cad Bane movie from him or something. Like it's like a smaller character that hasn't been fleshed out as much, because he does that with Marvel all the time. So
right, makes sense. And Shang-Chi, excellent movie. I'd never heard of the guy.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so before
I'm hoping he has more of a history with Star Wars, including some of the old books I've read and some of the old comic books and stuff, than anybody else who's been involved with the series lately has. You know,
yeah,
because that would make it more okay if he's going to reach in and pull out one of them lesser known characters. At least he has an understanding of the greater story,
yeah.
as it were. You know,
It'll be. I want to see more stories involving some of the other Jedi. Right, like there's no like standalone things that follow one of these other Jedi characters, as a movie or anything. I really want to see that, because there's so many that you can tell. All right, J.D. Dillard project Untitled. He directed Slight and Sweetheart, is teaming up with writer Matt Owens, to develop a new Star Wars project. It's unclear if it'll be a series or film. So basically, just we know that
there's a movie or show coming.
There's something else, and that's the last thing. So there's a lot in plans. It seems like they don't know where to go with the movies right now, but they know where to go with the shows, right? And after looking at this earlier, that's kind of was my like takeaway. There's like a trilogy that is up in the air that we don't know is going to happen now. There's a Taika Waititi movie that we don't know anything about that's going to be a fresh take. And there's a Kevin Feige movie that we don't know anything about. It seems like it's just kind of all over the place. I mean, there's not like,
I honestly think of some of that's going to wait on October 30th when her contract is up. You know,
right,
probably as soon as somebody else steps into that seat or if her contract gets renewed, then they'll start moving forward on some of this stuff. But until then, they're holding off, which makes sense.
Yeah. Anybody feel like this is kind of just scattered? Like, there's a lot of shows, like they're telling different stories from different time periods and all this stuff, but there's not like a clear.
Well, I think just
direction.
with the backlash of the new trilogy, they're just kind of like they want to avoid like doing trilogies, and they don't want to bring back those characters because it just brings up like a sour taste in all the fans' mouth, and it's like we don't want to see that.
Exactly.
So it's like,
yeah, it seems like they're staying away from what the movies were and all that, and they're kind of doing these other one-off series and other either TV shows and whatnot, just to kind of get people back into the, bring Star Wars back to what was its glory back from what we all know it. Because after the prequels left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths, and then these new trilogies, what little like love that they had for the Star Wars universe, they just got shitted on by these guys, and then it's just like, fuck this shit.
The crazy thing is, like, even though like we say all this stuff, right? Like, I mean, you're still excited for all of these things to come out, right? I mean, like I am. I want to see them all,
and it's difficult because like I don't want to just shit on, like, I know people worked hard on those movies. I just don't want to shit on them. It's like,
yeah,
right.
Mm-hmm. Like somebody's dream project. Oh, I finally get to make my Star Wars movie. I've been a fan since like I was a little kid, and I get to make my movie. And like you put your heart and soul, and you like think about it night and day, and you obsess over it for 5 years, and then you get what you think is the perfect story and the perfect cast, and you get this budget, and it all comes exactly how you foresaw, and you put it out there, and people's like, "This is the worst fucking Star Wars thing I've ever seen,"
Well,
and I hate it.
like poor Jake Lloyd got destroyed, and it wasn't his fault that in episode 1 that he was and just he was the fans ripped him apart. I can't imagine being him growing up.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, what's the most exciting thing from this list? We'll
Obi-Wan.
go each person pick one. Obi-Wan's for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Psycho. Like, is there something that stands
definitely, definitely Obi-Wan and whatever
Taika
whatever
Waititi.
his name. Yeah, Taika Waititi. Whatever he's gonna make, that definitely has me because I like his art style. He made Ragnarok for
Thor Ragnarok.
yeah. And didn't he do Free Guy too? Or something, or
I'm not. He did some of the Mandalorian episodes. I know that.
Yeah. No, he did something with Ryan Reynolds as well. That I don't know if that was like.
Was he behind Deadpool at all or anything?
Green Lantern.
Yeah,
I think it was Green Lantern because it was his buddy that was that he got that had the Jeep. That was him. It was fucking Green Lantern. That's what it was.
We wouldn't hold that against him.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
Well, he was in it. He wasn't directing it.
Right. I know that he's like doing a lot of good stuff right now. Right. And he was involved with Mandalorian and all this stuff. So I think he's I think I like his style too. He's got a unique style with his movies. Well, yeah, but what about you, Paul? One thing that stands out, like what's the thing you're most excited for?
Probably Obi-Wan right now.
Obi-Wan.
So.
Right on.
Yeah. This is the mic I'm using. Sorry.
I'm gonna say Rogue Squadron for me. Just because
I don't know enough about
Star Wars sounds badass to me. I like the picture, the cover picture they have for it. Like right now, I don't know if that's like they put it out there, but that looks pretty badass. So I know that's a lame excuse and reason why, but yeah, I'm excited for that. And the Acolyte, I think the Acolyte could be really cool.
If they make the Rogue Squadron type of like a video game, how they like with Rogue Squadron and all that, but in a show or movie, that'd be freaking awesome. Just to see dogfights and
they have like a 1-minute video with like the director like talking about like what her like idea behind it is and stuff. She's like an Air Force, like she's like Air Force movies, or her dad was an Air Force pilot or something like that, I think.
Yeah. I could see like them telling some really cool stories. I like Poe Dameron was like a really cool part of those of the newer movies, right? I liked him in them, and I liked seeing him like fly over. I forget the planet they were on, wherever, and he came in and like just started like tearing shit up in the sky above the base, right above the rebel base, and it was like, heck yeah, that's like it's some badass scenes and stuff with him. So I think there's they could do some cool stuff with Rogue Squadron. But hey guys, I think that's gonna do it because this was only gonna be Star Wars today, and next week talk about Venom. I think.
Yeah, because that comes out October 1st.
Yeah, it'll be like the
15th,
day before.
I think, wasn't it?
2 days before. First.
That was 15th. Oh, was it?
It's first, yeah.
Yeah.
I think they
October
moved
1st.
it up.
Oh.
Yeah.
Next Friday.
Though, can I mention real quick something I'd like to see that?
Yeah.
In the expanded what is now the expanded universe, they had introduced an alien race from another galaxy, the Vong, the Yuzon Vong. I don't know how you actually want to pronounce that. That are a very interesting race, and I'd like to see them brought to TV or especially a movie, because they were not force sensitive, they were force resistant, and they were invisible to the force, and it made for a very interesting set of storylines. And everything they grew was organic, like think coral. their ships were coral, their tools were coral or coral based. So I think it'd be really cool if they reached into some of that and got away from just the good versus evil force stuff, to expand the story out a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. Screw midichlorians. Let's just get away from
Yeah.
midichlorians and do some other stuff. Although I do like lightsabers. Lightsabers always have a place in Star Wars.
Oh yeah.
Are you touching?
blasters
No,
are
I'm
so
still always
underutilized.
amazed.
Are you touching your nipples?
I'm always amazed that Luke didn't slice his own hand off the first time he lit that sucker up. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, when they're in the elevator scene, like Anakin and Obi are in the elevator, and they take out all those droids. I'm like, how can they stand this close to each other and not slice each other in half right now?
Because they see the future. They know where each one's swinging.
It's true. Forgot about that. All right. Well, guys, thank you all for being here. Hey, Paul, thank you for joining us. I would like you to tell everybody where they can find you.
Everywhere. I mean, that's it. You can find me on Twitter at CerebralPaul1. You can find me on Twitch and YouTube at CerebralPaul. You can find me on Xbox, CerebralPaul921. I do multiple shows throughout the week, so I'm not even going to start to try to list those. Your best bet is to follow me on Twitter and see when I go live.
Right on. And may the force be with you, sir.
Thank you. And with you. Oh, sorry.
Always.
Hey, Psycho, the mellow fellow from outer space, from a galaxy far, far away.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for being here as always. And hey, where can people find you, sir?
Yeah. Shout out to everyone in the chat. You guys are fantastic. Thanks, Jasper and Paul, for coming on. Thanks, Kaitlin, for watching these Star Wars movies. They hold a meaning to all of us, near and dear to our hearts, especially growing up with Star Wars. It changed so much, and and it's awesome that you're able to experience what we all experience and love. So thank you. You guys can find me everywhere. Psychonauts8 on social media. You can find me on my YouTube channel, Gamer Chat Podcast. Gamer Chat's one word. You can find me every Wednesdays here, at whichever time we decide to choose. And you can find me Fridays on Xbox Ultimate with M7 and at 9 o'clock. Thank you.
Right on, dude. And may the force be with you as well. And Jasper, dude, thank you for making your second full-time appearance here on FunPop, and you're now officially part of all the graphics and everything, so it's stamped in history. So tell everybody where they can find your stuff.
So if you want to check me out, it's Jasper_Gaming_ on Twitter. It's also up there at the top of the screen. It's on YouTube, just Jasper Gaming. Thanks for coming out and chat tonight, guys. Always check out FunPop on Wednesday nights. I think the new schedule's gonna be 7, so that's what you said. So
yeah. If that works for you, Psycho and Jasper, we'll do 7 on Wednesdays, and that way we can not be up so late because my daughter's back in school finally. So.
Yeah, no, I'm down for it.
Cool. And may the force be with you as well, Jasper.
And you always.
All right, chat. You guys rock. Love you all. Have a great one. Fantastic night. Bye.
See you, I will, chat.
I was gonna try and do something where I just disappeared, but I can't figure out how to make it happen because I don't have the
pull Yoda, pull an Obi-Wan.
Yeah. Bye, guys.
Bye.
See you later. I will.
FunPop. FunPop. FunPop.